Hey everybody, this is the Aggressively Medium podcast with and Josh.
Hey, Derek.
Hey, Josh.
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
How was your week?
It was good. It was really good. Yeah, we got a lot done. What about you?
Just working on Cheese Louise.
Cheese
Just
Louise.
every day, all day, if I'm not at the fire station.
Roll.
So it's starting a business.
Yeah.
Essentially. So got a lot to do. I'm leaving here to go do an event. So,
Roll Tide.
we're rolling. We're making stuff happen. So
Yeah.
R.I.P. Lee. Not that he died, but
Right.
just he's not here. So I guess maybe we should start every episode with like R.I.P. Lee.
R.I.P. Lee.
Yeah.
Pour some out for Lee.
Have you listened to the episode from last week?
I did.
Did you hear at the very beginning that I bleeped out his name?
No. I didn't notice that.
So if you're listening to this podcast, I might have fixed the audio by now, but the old audio to the intro was, this is welcome to the Aggressively Medium podcast with Lee and Josh, and I beeped out Lee. And so it's just welcome to the Aggressively Medium podcast with Beep and Lee and Josh, because I was like, I don't have enough time to fix this audio.
That's funny.
So it might be like that this week until we can get a new clip fixed.
Cool.
So
I like Lee. He's a good dude.
yeah, great guy. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're probably going to do a lot of things that we did with me and Lee, just because it's like, this is a time filler and it seems like an easy thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a new Coke flavor. We did the space flavor, and you were on that
I was
episode.
on that episode, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so now we have a Dream World flavored Coke, which I've had. And there's a flavor in it that it took a long, because like the last time it was like orange and vanilla, and this time is a different flavor. So I want to see if you can tell what flavor it is.
All right.
And also if you like it.
I'm going to make a guess before I try this, just based on the artwork.
Okay.
And I'm going to say bubble gum.
No, not even close.
Okay. Not even close.
No.
Definitely getting some citrus vibes there.
It's a citrusy fruit. Gosh, I got so many bubbles in that one.
It's like an orange.
It's close.
Tangerine.
Very close. Very close. Mango?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is mango citrus?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was because it was orange. Or is it orange or is it green?
I think they're green on the outside, but it's orange on the inside.
Bro, I have no idea what a mango looks like.
I think it's more like on the apple side.
I've never like taken a mango and like cut one open.
Really?
No.
Have you ever had mango?
If flavored mango.
But not actual mango?
Probably not.
Wow.
Probably not.
Next week.
Next week. Next week we'll have real mangoes. I know the artificial flavor of mango. For sure.
That's
what that is.
I mean, it's kind of there, but yeah, next week you're having a mango.
Yeah, that's not good though to me. I mean, it's like
It's better than the other one.
Yeah,
me.
I would give it a 5 out of 10.
Sorry about that. What do I give that? So what's 10? The greatest drink I've ever had?
Coke, regular Coke.
Regular Coke.
Which is not like it's not like this is great. It's just like Coke is
This is a 15.
the standard.
I like this better than regular
Really?
Coke. Yeah.
I'm just not a big fan of the fake mango. But
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It's good though.
Yeah, it's not bad. I wouldn't go out of my way to drink it again, I don't think.
I'm not going to go to a store just to
I
get
have the rest of the 6-pack if you want it, or 12-pack, so you can have it. Me and Meg drank one each, and then these have been sitting in the fridge for 2 weeks because I forgot to do it last week.
Nice.
Another thing that we did on the podcast with Lee, this feels like a weird like relationship where like I broke up with somebody, but I still like have fond memories, and I'm like, hey, I remember when, but it's like I don't, like I feel weird saying it. You know, it's like we did this together.
Sure, but I'm not your new girlfriend, so you can.
Yeah, you're my old girlfriend.
I'm your old girlfriend.
So one thing that was a running segment on the podcast is me sleep talking.
Yes. I'm here for that.
And last night I had I'm not talking, but there was definitely some like maybe trying to talk. So
Let's hear it.
So to me, it sounds like at first I was agreeing with somebody, and then like I went, and then I went,
Let's hear it again. What is that app?
The app is Sleep Cycle.
Oh, I used to have that.
Yeah, we talked about it once before.
Did we?
Yeah, it's a pretty good app. It it does a good job at recording me in my sleep and showing in the world how crazy it is when I dream. So maybe we'll get some more of those this week.
I'm going to download it so that I'll have some.
You might. I don't know if you have to pay for the premium version. I paid for the premium version a long time ago.
Okay.
Because it was worth it to me for whatever reason.
So I'm going to go rogue here.
Okay.
Get off the list for a second. But so I found out something the other day that I've never known about myself. My wife and I have been married for 6.5 years.
Yeah.
And she told me a few weeks ago that I sleepwalk.
Really?
I have never known that. She said, "You've done it our whole marriage." I said, "You'd never want to tell me about that?" Or?
Yeah.
She's like, "I thought you knew."
I thought you knew.
We've never had a conversation.
But like, why wouldn't you talk? Like if I like scream in the middle of the night, my wife's like, "Hey, do you remember screaming last night?" But
and she tells me when I snore or like when we used to have the Sleep Cycle app. Like we would talk about that and laugh about it.
Yeah.
And found out the other day that I
So
sleepwalk.
what do you do when did she say like, hey, you were typing on a computer in the
So that specific
hallway?
time I got up and walked over to my dresser and then like looked out the window, which is right there. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm going to the bathroom." And she's like, "The bathroom's the other way." And then I went to the bathroom. So I don't know.
See, I've watched way too many scary movies to be like, that's okay in my life. Like if I woke up and Meg was just standing staring out the window, I'd be like, well,
Yep.
she's possessed.
Yep. Time to go.
It's over. Yep. It was a fun marriage while it lasted.
Sorry, kids. I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll leave the kids with the demon possessed woman. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we all have our things. And yours is peeing while looking out the window, apparently.
Evidently. Well, I don't pee until I get to the bathroom. So that's at least there's that.
And this is a weird question. Do you remember the last time you peed in your pants or pooped in your pants?
Yes.
Was it recent?
Define recent. I was
5
an adult.
years?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So my wife and I we did a business trip to Las Vegas. Every year, State Farm does a convention.
Was this
in Las
like
Vegas.
3 weeks ago or a month ago?
This is 4 years.
Okay,
4 years
I was about
ago.
to say,
Yeah.
you were in Vegas not long ago.
I was. This was in 2018. So every 4 years, we do a trip to Vegas with State Farm. And I'm not a big Vegas fan. Like it's a business trip. So anyway, so we go, and the last day of the trip, she's like, "Hey, I want to go eat at." I forget the guy's name. No, it's some restaurant in one of the casino we were staying at, and he's some famous British chef. I don't remember who it is, but anyway, he on the menu was fish and chips. And I was
Gordon
like,
Ramsay?
maybe,
Okay.
maybe. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm not a big fish and chips guy, but we're at this dude's restaurant. I'll eat some fish and chips.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was the fish and chips, but I don't know what else it would be. But I woke up in the middle of the night that night, and I was pooping myself.
Nice.
And Josh, it was the worst. Like,
was it like a full poop in the pants?
it was diarrhea, and it was multiple times throughout the night. Like I just threw the underwear away.
At that point,
and I couldn't do anything but laugh because I was pooping on myself. we got to the airport the next morning.
Like, laugh how hard? Because, like, in my head, you're laughing hysterically and then pooping your pants. And she's like, maybe.
Well, I got to the toilet before I started laughing. But,
Okay.
But, like, by the 5th time that happened that night, like, I fell back asleep, wake up, did it again. By that, I'm just like, all right, whatever. This is ridiculous.
Did you, like, lay down a towel or anything?
I don't think so. I don't remember. But we had to request that they move our seats on the airplane closer to the toilet.
Dang.
And I went probably 4 or 5 times in the 2-hour flight. And you don't go poop in a plane if you can help it.
No.
But I couldn't help it.
You might get sucked out.
Yeah. So have you pooped yourself lately?
I don't even remember why I thought of that. Oh, because you were looking out the window, peeing.
Oh, yeah.
I did, yeah. So I had a stomach virus like a month and a half ago, and I let a fart slip, a little poot slip, and yeah. Before that though, I remember the last time in grade school that I did, and like how embarrassed I was, and like waddling, doing the waddle to the bathroom.
I feel that.
Yeah, and just like how just embarrassed I was, and then I was like, we got to cut this out, man. And there's been stuff like that with Jason,
really,
where like he was a little bit delayed in some things just because of the way that he was raised, but he was still peeing in the bed at like 5,
really
6, somewhere around there. Yeah, and so, but my wife Meg was super worried about it, and I was like, at some point he's growing out of this.
Sure.
Or he would like pee in his pants like during school or something too. And I'm like, there's going to be a point where it's like, I got to cut this out, you know? So I wasn't super worried about it, but.
You want to hear an embarrassing fact about me?
Absolutely.
Okay. This doesn't leave us, between us.
And the internet.
I peed in the bed until I was 15 years old.
See, like, I don't, like, to me, that's not that embarrassing.
It's not really for me either, but it is kind of embarrassing.
Like, it would be embarrassing as a 15-year-old.
It doesn't bother me. Right.
Yeah. But, like,
I was 15, and it was just the size of my bladder. It was so small. And then I finally grew out of it. But yeah, 15.
Grew out of your bladder.
I could not go, like, I wouldn't go spend the night at a friend's house. I never did that because I didn't want to pee on myself.
No friends. Oh, yeah.
Well,
you didn't want
too.
to pee on yourself. Yeah.
That's it.
You didn't get friends until your late 30s.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, man. I think the last time, whenever I was in grade school or whatever, it was like maybe it had to be like fourth or fifth, somewhere around there. Did that happen? But yeah, I was just like, man, if I got to go to the bathroom, I'm telling somebody now.
I don't remember the last time before that. I remember one time I peed my pants in kindergarten in the lunchroom line trying to get my food, and I just couldn't. I remember I was wearing a green sweatsuit, and I just couldn't do it. Couldn't hold it. I just peed.
At least it was green.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you, so this is weird, kind of, probably. When you go pee at night, like you wake up in the middle of the night and you go pee by the window or wherever, do you pee in the toilet?
Yeah.
Okay.
As opposed to what? Or outside?
No.
Is that what you're asking? Or in the sink?
No.
Or the bathtub?
The bathtub.
I've never peed in the bathtub.
So I started doing this whenever I was in fire college.
Does Meg listen to this?
Yeah. She knows I pee she knows I pee in the shower.
Like while you're taking a shower?
No.
Oh.
In the middle of the night.
Why?
That's a great question. Ease, I guess. Because, like, so I started doing it in fire college because I was too exhausted to, like, figure out, like, what was going on. And we had a bathroom that, like, the wall was, like, the back wall. You could just, like, put your hands on it and then, like, pee into the tub. And I'm the first one awake, and so I'm the first one taking a shower. And so I just, like, turn the water on and then let it drain down.
Did the other firefighters know you do that?
Oh, I don't do this at the fire department.
Okay.
No, I did this during fire college at home.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then It just kind of stuck.
Okay.
And so now at night, and Meg actually said she prefers it.
What?
Because I'm not like peeing all over the seat in the middle of the night.
Just sit down.
I thought about that, but then I sit down.
I do it.
Well, and we've got like a little, we call it the poop closet, where it's like, it's a bathroom within the bathroom. And so you shut the door and it's really dark or you turn the light on.
It's
and
really
bright. And so for me, I walk the path, hands on the wall, pee, go back to bed.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore, Josh.
Dude, it's not that weird. I'm going to tell you, it's game changing.
No. Well, so first off, we use our bathtub because we have one of the big, what do you call it? The garden tubs.
Yeah.
And we don't use that thing. So we just use it for our dirty clothes. Oh. So that's where we put our dirty clothes, towels on one side and clothes on the other. And so, no.
What about a shower? You got a shower?
Yes, but I'm not peeing in the shower. That's gross. So what I do?
Why?
Look,
tell me why it's gross.
Have a poop because you're peeing like you're gonna stand there and you're not rinsing it out. I'm imagining you don't turn the shower on, do you?
Not then. In the morning, I do.
Right. So the pee's dried on there. It's
the pee's dried.
I mean, not dried, but it's like
no.
If you pee at 11 o'clock at night, by 7 o'clock the next morning, it's dried.
No, absolutely not.
So alternatively, you could go into the poop closet because we have one too, and just leave the door open and sit down to pee.
It's too dark.
I do that when I'm half asleep too. You can't look. Get you one of these. I'll bring you one next time.
We've got one of the
little plug-in nightlight things.
Well, so we had the toilet light, the toilet bowl light that it's motion activated, but then the batteries ran out, and I just started peeing in the shower again. Yeah, exactly.
Josh, I can't be friends with you anymore,
dude. It's not. But like, it's all going down into the same place.
Did you tell Lee that?
Probably.
I want to know what he thought about it.
Oh, he probably didn't like it either. He was probably grossed out. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Because, like, I'm not changing any. Like, you sit down and you're like, pee.
But it's like you get a break.
And then get up. I don't need a break. I need to get back in bed.
Right, but you sit down and you're like, okay. All right. And then you go, like, it's.
It's so efficient to do it this way. Where you just pee in the shower and then going about your day.
I can't do it.
I don't do it like in the middle of the day, just at night.
Sure, only when you're exhausted. And that's what I'm talking about. Like I sit down to pee when I'm exhausted.
See, if I sit down, if I sit down, a poop could come and I don't want to poop. I want to get back in bed.
I mean, if I got to go, I got to go.
I'll hold it.
Which I'm pretty regular and I almost always go 8 o'clock in the morning.
Poop.
Yeah.
So I'm not regular at all. Speaking about not being regular, this is like an Ask Reddit thing, and I love the Ask Reddits because it always like comes up with some pretty cool stuff.
Okay.
But also has something to do with something that was in the news this week or last week. What world event do you think was staged? Are there any that you think staged?
I mean, a lot.
What's like one that's not going to get you in trouble? Because Alex Jones, he's in a lawsuit right now that a defamation case from parents from Sandy Hook that because he was all about Sandy Hook didn't happen, all this other stuff. And
I think it happened. I think it was staged though.
You think that the government went in and killed a bunch of kids?
No, I don't know who did it, and I think
somebody planned it.
I think somebody planned it.
Oh, well, yeah,
and
for sure.
And kind of brainwashed that kid that did it. And the same thing with the Texas one. I think that somebody else was behind that because the dude had a $80,000 truck.
Yeah. Who would be behind it though?
I don't know. And that's the thing. The thing is, I'm not going to detract from the fact that those kids did die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
that's what Alex Jones was saying is nobody died. That it was all fake, that there were no. If you go down that rabbit hole on YouTube, you'll find a video about it, and it's there was no ambulances.
I've heard that. But I've also heard that there were grieving actors. So there were different mass shootings, and they were the same people.
I've seen some of that stuff, but then I've also I don't know that I necessarily believe that stuff still because I wasn't watching the news when it happened.
Right.
I wasn't,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't think that is. I think you're gonna see more of Like I'm not convinced completely that COVID wasn't staged to some point.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And not necessarily that, like, I'm not saying COVID was fake or that the government planned COVID. I think that certain people saw an opportunity and took it.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I get that. So this is some of the things from the Ask Reddit, which I thought were pretty interesting. This one's a tough pill to swallow. Jeffrey Epstein committing suicide.
That's the number one.
Way too convenient to be true. Same high security prison that housed El Chapo suddenly doesn't have camera footage of that night, and the guards were unaware of what was going on too. Somebody else said WrestleMania. I'm gonna have to disagree.
No, there's no way. No way that was staged.
Somebody said the time that David Copperfield made the Statue of Liberty disappear. Something fishy about that. This is something that I don't know a ton about, but the 1999 Moscow apartment bombings.
I don't know anything about that.
Never even heard of it. But somebody commented below that and said, I'm surprised this isn't more known about in the West. The FSB was literally caught red-handed planting explosives by local police.
FSB?
I guess some sort of government organization over there. Janet Jackson and Boobgate. You remember when she was... Yeah. So that's probably... That one probably was...
I could see it.
Yeah.
Publicity, for sure.
In the UK, a spy or someone who worked with the intelligence was found dead in an apartment. He had drowned in the bath, locked inside a North Face duffel bag. The lock was on the outside of the bag. Official verdict to his death was suicide. It's a little fishy. Let's see. Okay. I haven't read all these, so I'm about to read this one. It's kind of long. At least some of the world's conspiracy theories must be true, but the thing that stops me from believing most modern ones is that contemporary politics and business scandals have shown that the human race is pretty much incapable of keeping secrets. Some of the conspiracy theories you would hear would require so many different people and institutions, often with conflicting agendas, keeping secrets. That's the bit that isn't plausible. It's far more plausible in the time of JFK when info wasn't easily stored, recorded, or shared. That's a big, yeah. So the energy price crisis in the UK right now, I suspect that when Russia invaded Ukraine, the oil companies saw an opportunity to make an unthinkable amount of money, and our government is corrupt enough to let them get away with it. Said, edit, I know the energy isn't only in the UK. I was just under the impression that we had been hit harder than other European countries. I mean, that's definitely...
I think a lot of that's going to be staged, for sure.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's just... I think a lot of it is people who are evil in the world see something coming down the road and they see opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so, I mean, there's definitely a lot of stuff that is probably just like you were saying, like evil people seeing like a chance to manipulate something or a chance to make some money. But one world event that hasn't been staged recently is have you seen anything about the Anne Heche car crash?
That is. Oh wait, is that the lady the fiery car? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So shout out to my wife. She said we should talk about this.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Nice.
And I just didn't know the name.
Yeah. So Anne Heche, she's an actress. She actually, do you remember that there was a movie filmed in Tuscaloosa not too long ago that was at like Lake Lurleen? So there was a movie filmed. Oh, now I gotta find Anne Heche.
Was she in it?
She was. She was like so there were two main actors. One of them was Anne Heche, and the other one was... it's called The Vanished. The other main actor was Thomas Jane. So this guy.
Okay.
But yeah, so it was a decent movie. I would say it surprised me. I was expecting super low budget. There was a lot of people I knew in the movie too, because they just used like local firefighters and local police.
That's funny.
But yeah, so she has ties to Tuscaloosa via that movie. But yeah, she was in a car crash, and the craziest thing to me about it was, so she's driving like 80 miles an hour down a residential road after she had already had like a hit and run, and then she blows through a stop sign, goes through a house. The house catches on fire. She's still in the car. She was in the car for 45 to 60 minutes and was still alive. Like, the firefighters were fighting the fire, and then when they opened the door, they expected burnt to a crisp.
She drives into a house.
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy. She drives into a house, and then the house catches on fire, and it should be cooking her like an oven.
Yeah, she was alive.
She was alive for 45 minutes.
Yeah. They were fighting the fire, and then they finally got the fire extinguished. They opened the car door, and she's alive. Then the other crazy thing is so she's burned pretty badly, obviously.
Sure.
They either strip her down or she's already stripped down, but they put her on the back of the stretcher, cover her up with a blanket.
Didn't they cover her head?
They covered her whole body.
Yeah.
And then...
But like instant, like she's dead.
No.
Like, do you ever cover somebody's head when they're not dead?
Yeah. If it's a pretty bad scene,
okay, we
would try to like avoid the public seeing. And they have, so there's a video from a helicopter, and so they know the helicopter's flying above, overhead too. And the helicopter was like, oh, it looks like they're dead. And then all of a sudden, Anne Heche just like sits up and is like trying to grab the EMTs at the head of the stretcher. And then,
was she in shock?
Probably.
Yeah.
She's dead now.
Okay.
She passed away now, but she was on like life support for a few days. That's just like the craziest.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so it's wild.
Hey, what do you want to talk about?
Presley just woke up from her nap.
Hey.
If you can't hear the other people listening to the podcast. But yeah. Also, an interesting thing that I heard somebody say earlier is we have taught rocks math.
What?
So, what's a computer made out of?
Stuff? Electronic?
What's
stuff?
like the base components? Like, if you like take a computer apart, it's a lot of like...
I can go down protons and neutrons.
Well,
but you make it back up a little bit?
That.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, plastic.
Yeah.
Metal.
Plastic. What's metal? Stuff we pull out of the ground. And like, so we've created artificial intelligence, which is like at the base of it, just computers. So it's like silicone. Yeah. Silicone, metal, plastic. And we have taught silicone, metal, and plastic how to do math. Like how to compute.
We programmed them?
Either way.
Because if you think about it, a computer is just
a program.
Essentially a Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah.
Like it
you
just
do this, it does this.
If I push this lever, it's going to make this thing move, which is going to make this thing move, which is going to make this thing move.
But that's the artificial intelligence part of it, is like where it's learning on its own. And so since we've gotten to that point, that's why they're saying we've taught it how to do math. Which,
I
thought it was like an interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, it
makes my brain hurt.
Yeah. Somebody smarter than me was like, rocks.
Yeah.
We made computers out of rocks, and we've taught rocks how to do math.
Yeah.
And I'm just a dumb like, oh, cool. But yeah, so you have been reading a book.
I have been reading a book.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's called The Intentional Father. And it is, I'm trying to get back to it so I can remember the author's name, by John Tyson. It's a practical guide to raise sons of courage and character. And it talks about different, there's 5 different types of father. And I'm drawing a blank on 2 of them right now, but the first one is the irresponsible father. It's kind of like you basically you knocked somebody up and then disappeared, and you have you're not present at all.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of others that I don't remember, but then the fourth one is the involved father, which is you're there day in, day out, baseball games. You take the kids to school, put them to bed. He talks about how the world would be better off if everybody had an involved father. But then he takes a step further and says there's the best kind is called the intentional father. And it's where you think about, okay, who do I want my kids to be as adults? Like, so what do I want my son to be as a man?
Yeah.
And then you kind of develop a plan to mold them into that.
Whatever that is.
When it comes to like values, he's not talking about personality and what they like and dislike. He's talking about just their values and their image, their self-image, the way they see themselves, the way they see others. And he talks about how every culture in the world except ours has a defining moment where a boy becomes a man. So for the Jewish culture, for the Jewish people, it's bar mitzvah, African tribes,
and stuff like that.
So, but we don't have that. And so, bless you. And so he takes his son on a trip and he says, all right, this is your defining moment. This is the day you become a man. Yeah. And he takes him, the author's from Australia. So he takes him to Australia and he shows him where he grew up and he introduces him to his first boss and his grandfather. And he tells stories and basically shows the kid, hey, this is who you are. This is where you come from. And he says, okay, so this is your defining moment. Now I'm going to take you on a journey of becoming a man. And then every day after that, he wakes up an hour early and disciples his son. So he puts his son through discipleship.
He said, we're going to wake up an hour early.
We're going to wake up an hour early and we're going to talk for an hour before school every day.
Yeah.
And he disciples him. And he did that for 2 years I think it was 2 years when he started writing the book. And that's about where I am right now. But the book just goes through and like it says, it's a practical guide to raise sons of courage and character. And it really is a practical guide. Like he gives you steps and he says, all right, stop reading and go do this now.
Yeah.
And then come back. So, all right, it's really cool. And it's got me thinking about how, like, I want to be an intentional father, but I have, up until this point, I have been an involved father.
Yeah.
I've been there for my kids.
Yeah.
But it's like I've been reactionary instead of proactive.
But like nobody taught us to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's not a thing that that we've decided like, hey, I'm just not going to do this for my kid. It's like there hasn't been a lot of, and like with my dad, like I love my dad, like great dad. He did everything he could for us, and he provided a life for us that he didn't have, which he had to work every single day to do that. He was at work all day, pouring concrete, doing hard labor stuff.
Yeah.
And so the times that I remember getting to spend with my dad, like me and my dad never like went outside to go play catch, but we formed up houses, we poured concrete, we did those type things. And those were, for me, my like, this is how I become a man. Like I learned labor, I learned this stuff. But it wasn't like, hey,
okay,
we're gonna like wake up an hour early and do discipleship stuff.
Yeah.
But like, man, like what a game changer.
Could you imagine?
Dude, like I feel like I turned out good. But like I feel like now with like Jason, Presley, if we have another one, like now I can like, we can really mold them into like that to me, that does away with the like, will my kid turn out to be a good kid? It's like, well, if I'm waking up an hour early to disciple him every day, he almost doesn't have a choice.
Right. Yeah.
And there was a thing that I read the other day that was talking about like one thing that like kids who grew up in Christianity, like how they, like if they turned out to like keep their faith, one of the things that determined that was if there was something in the home weekly outside of a church service that was church oriented.
Yeah.
Or Christian.
So like they read the Bible or prayed together.
Or well, like small group.
Oh, okay.
Or like some sort of service type thing. Like we're gonna do worship this night or whatever. And to me, it makes sense because that's some level of like ownership,
right?
Of like your Christian faith. That's like, yeah, it's Sunday and it's Wednesday or whatever day, but like it's also this day at home, like actively seeking God and like doing that stuff. So,
yeah, and your kids are going to, they're going to model what they see, not what they hear, and so it's something that I'm kind of dealing with right now. I'm working through is like my kids are gonna they're gonna become what I am, not what I tell them to be.
Yeah.
And if I tell them to read their Bible, they're not as likely to do it as if they see me reading my Bible.
Absolutely.
Kind of thing.
And we've had that with Jason where it's like he's even like asked us, like we'll say like, all right, buddy, like it's time to pray. And then he's like, I want to hear your prayer. Like, what does that sound like? What does that look like? Because like up until then it was like, all right, he would say like, we had to teach him like, okay, well pray, but like the reason you're praying is like because you want to like thank God for some things. And so he'd be like, dear Jesus, thank you for this day. I'm thankful for, and then he would list off things. But now that he's seeing people like us, and then he's also seeing like people at church, like within Highlands Kids Pray, it's like his prayers have changed. It's
That's
like,
cool.
Thank you, God, for the things that you've done for me. Like we ask your spirit to come down. Like we ask the Holy Spirit to come. And he might not know fully what those things are or understand them, but he's developing that language. And it's like,
right.
That was like the first time I heard him pray like that. It was just like, man, this is one of those moments that like you remember for the rest of your life. Or like the first time I saw him worshiping on his own, I was just like, dadgummit, man. It's like a knife through the heart.
Yeah.
It's like,
that's cool. Yeah, we saw Addie do that, and that was really, really cool
to
see her. Yeah, just like and all the time I would see her. She would fall asleep with her Bible, holding her and she had been reading it, and she can't read.
Yeah,
but like she has this burning desire to know God, and I'm like it's inspiring to me.
Absolutely, those are the moments to me that like I value more than like some dads get like super stoked about like, oh, my kid rode a bike for the first time, or he did this or did that. And it's like seeing Jason like know how to worship for the first time was like, man, that's the stuff that's like I'm doing something okay. Might not be doing it right, but I'm doing something okay.
Sorry, I got an email.
No, you're
going to
good.
respond to. Cool.
Yeah. Well, that might be everything for today because it is almost 10.
We are there, and you got to go.
Yeah. This episode's a little bit longer than last episode.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Still not an hour yet, probably.
Still not an hour. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
We're getting there.
And we would get there today if we didn't have a time crunch.
Yeah, exactly. This will be this was like a pre-scheduled event that I didn't have anything to do with. So
yeah.
Normally I would schedule anything during the day because I've got her. But
is she gonna go with you?
Yeah, she's going. My mom's here.
Oh, cool.
So she's gonna take care of her.
Sweet.
But yeah, so we've got some stuff for next week too already. So
Mangoes.
that'll be good. And yeah.
I can't believe you pee in the shower.
Well, somebody's got to.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us into your places of work, your hearts, your homes, your vehicles,
and your butts,
and your peed in showers.
Yeah.